their store in Okwebi. I can get to Okwebi.
I think I'll stop by the store and have more. I guess no, Uncle Ayabi. That's the name of the man now. It's not Uncle something.
Uncle Stans.
Uncle Ayo Jari.
I don't know. Alrighty, you're welcome inside the locker room on a Wednesday morning. Yes, indeed, 16 or 17 minutes past 8 a.m. now on the 10th of December 2025. Time to talk sports. Let's take a walk into what's been going on in the world of great sporting action. Ayokunmi Kekirieko here. And we are going to have a very, very interesting show. So much to talk about, so many things to get ourselves into this morning. And you know that in the locker room it's never a one-man show. Like it can never ever be a one-man show. That is because I have with me in the studio the one and only personal sort of buttons right now. Just trying to figure out how many packs it is. Tega Supreme.
It's four today. It's four. It's four. I can show you it because I'm proud. But for the sake of beyond my control, because I really wanted to brag about a few things.
You have no idea how much I wanted it.
in, in the the last time since we've been here, Lando Norris has won the F1 Drivers Championship.
Correct.
Terrible for me. But hey, congratulations to him.
Sorry.
In that time also, some people's the real goats, you understand, when they're talking of greatest of all time, they stood up to be counted. Then Messi won his first MLS. I'm saying first as if there's going to be a second and third, like I've written it in the stars. But he won, it's what it is. He won his first MLS title um this season. And I hear that since he's been in America, he's won a trophy every season.
Interesting.
That's good status. The people in Saudi, what are they doing? They're eating asun.
They're going to Labia.
They're we'll not talk about that, just to cover up the bases. What else happened this weekend? Arsenal lost this weekend. I wanted to drag them like generator, but no time.
You had no idea.
There's no time. If people will drop points, but Arsenal's loss was the hardest hit because they're now 2 points ahead of Manchester City. Remember what I told you? It doesn't matter what Manchester City's struggle is. If they are close to Arsenal by February, they are winning the title. It's that simple. And now they're just 2 points behind. So we'll wait to see how that pans out. But today we'll be talking about the Champions League. We'll be talking about Musala. If you ask me, by now I should have gotten his e-visa. It's on the Yala app. There's no need for long thing. Just go to the Yala app. You'll get your e-visa almost instantly.
Keep it moving.
And keep it moving. We'll talk about Musala and his team. We'll also talk about what people are saying about the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Can you believe it? That somebody said Nigeria has no chance. We would like to get your thoughts on that. All of that and more coming up inside the locker room this morning. But before we do any talking, whether from you or for myself, Ayokunmi, tell us, how can we be a part of locker room this morning?
All right, for all the honorable analysts out there who will need to join us this morning because some London blue people. Anyways, 0911-999-0981 is the WhatsApp number. 0911-999-0981. That is the WhatsApp number to leave your messages. We'd love to hear from you or read from you. YouTube, get that front row seat into all the action. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Leave your comments and keep them coming. We always love when you're part of the locker room. All right, now that individual that I think I was talking about that said Super Eagles, no chance whatsoever. It's none other than a former Arsenal player. Anyways, France former World Cup winner Emmanuel Petit has written off Super Eagles of Nigeria as title contenders heading into the Africa Cup of Nations in Morocco. Now he was speaking on the tournament which begins on December 21st. He was part of the 1990 World Cup winning squad of France, and he picked his favorite and dark horse for the tournament. Now, he didn't mention the Nigerian team as favorites. Rather, he went for the hosts and gave his reasons, citing the current Africa Player of the Year, Achraf Hakimi, as a huge factor.
Can that one work?
He might even,
Is it not still in a cast?
His spirits
his
will
spirit
boost
will
them.
ginger the team.
Mm.
Okay, all right. But yes, Emmanuel Petit has said something. Now, I look before we look. You know what? In fact, I want every kind of analysis. I want your sentimental analysis. I want your patriotic analysis. I want your objective analysis. No opinion is of no or is of little importance.
Mm.
Every opinion counts.
True.
Okay, we want to hear what you think. Emmanuel Petit has said I mean, he has picked his favorites, and Super Eagles is not one of them. So he's written off Super Eagles completely. It's like those guys are not even doing anything. Now you may question some things because remember, just only last week they talked about our chairman in goal, Mwabali, not being able to make it for the tournament. Yes, his club side has said he may not be fit enough to make it for the tournament because he picked up an injury. You also have to remember that Victor Osimhen has picked up his own struggles, so we don't know how that situation is going to turn out. Because if he gets fit just before the Nations Cup, will Galatasaray release him?
But didn't he just score some goals recently? That nice overhead
It's
kick and
different
all
from
that.
fit
But I think he wasn't,
because
you know.
yesterday, yesterday, nothing, no bicycle, no regular, no even trekking kick was done. So
Mm.
So again, you have to understand whether Galatasaray is going to release their 18 million pound or euros man to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And then you have to talk about the likes of Ademola Lookman, who, it looked like his star was coming back to shine, but it was a facade because he scored the goal and then disappeared again. And you look at the entire team, the strugglers everywhere. Chukudi had one good game for Fulham, which means that he's not going to have another good game in another 1 month if we are following his precedents. So again, regardless of whether you're Nigerian, whether you love the Super Eagles or not, I want to know what your thoughts are. Emmanuel Petit has said no chance of winning this trophy. To make matters worse, the Sports Commission have given the Super Eagles semi-final. The what's it called?
Minimum.
The minimum they should get is a semi-final berth.
Okay.
So even they are not anticipating that Super Eagles will win this. But what say you? What do you think will happen? Will the Super Eagles of Nigeria be able to do better than they did last time out at the African Nations Cup? Remember, last African Nations Cup, they were runners up. In fact, they scored first.
Right. Right. Right.
And then Cote d'Ivoire came from that goal down to win by 2 goals to 1. So, what are your thoughts? Do you think the Super Eagles of Nigeria at this African Cup of Nations starting on the 21st of December will be able to come back home with the trophy? The numbers to send your messages to are
0911 999 0981. You can alternatively leave your comments on YouTube at Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Smooth 981 FM Lagos. I'll your question though, Tega. No, I don't see the Super Eagles winning. So that's just my
we will
own
collect your green passport. I'm not even playing.
becoming, becoming. I don't even mind, Seth. All right, let's still keep it within African football and talk about a certain Mohamed Salah. While his future at Liverpool hangs in the balance, Egypt teammates have rallied behind the national team captain ahead of the AFCON coming up in Morocco.
Yes, so it's been a huge deal. First of all, it was Slot deciding that, you know what, my team is failing, but I think it's my guy that who has been delivering season in, season out. That is a problem. So he decided to bench him. And then Mo Salah got upset and then lashed out at I won't say manager only, lashed out at everybody who was criticizing him. And then people now came and started flogging Mo Salah, especially Jamie Carragher, who said, well, he has not won AFCON, so what's he bragging about? That's not why Liverpool pays him. Liverpool does not pay him to win AFCON. Has he won the Premier League for you? Yes. Has he won the Champions League for you? Yes. Give him the respect. All right. So they also came with their stick for him. Some people said they understood what his frustrations were, but they didn't expect him to come out and say it in public. I always say these things. When they start talking about players' reactions, as much as we push wisdom, we should also be able to cut them some slack. And the slot was not giving results. I don't see anybody killing him. Salah is not giving results. Everybody's crucifying him. What is your problem? Anyways, so bottom line, what that led to was the fact that he didn't turn up. He wasn't selected. He came for training, but he wasn't selected to play against Inter Milan yesterday.
Wasn't even on the plane at
Yeah, it
all.
wasn't even, yeah. for Inter Milan yesterday, and they won that game by 1 goal to nil, which to the detriment of my happiness. Because yeah, no, I wanted them to lose. Unfortunately, Bastoni decided that he's going to have a brain fart and shove somebody in the 18-yard box. That singular act gave Liverpool a penalty, which Soboslai stepped up to score. And so Liverpool has won. Now, nobody's going to check how Liverpool won. The fact is, they
They
went to
won.
San Siro and they got 3 points, and they're now on 12 points, which is them really higher up in the table. Um, and they did that without Mo Salah. So it's almost as if and slot is right, but it's not. Anyway, so my thoughts are Mo Salah, they said players can go by 15th. But seeing as your coach is not there, he's not selecting you for matches, you might as well hop on a plane to Morocco. They've opened the border. Your hotel is available.
I mean,
Just go and join your national team. You can't lose both ways. It's better to join your national team and blend with them than waste your time sitting in your house because his slot is not picking him.
yeah, I mean, Slaughter said that he probably will not play for Liverpool anymore.
Yeah, so get on the plane, honey. Don't go for training. Just get on a plane and join the Egyptian squad. Good news is that Saudi Arabia wants him and they will do everything to get him. The club in Saudi Arabia, I do not know. But they want him and they're ready to pay for his services. It's sad how this has turned out though, but
Very.
that's just the life of a footballer. You're just as good as your last game. And then if you get frustrated and lash out, you're as good as your last sentence.
It's unfortunate. I didn't see things panning out in this particular way. I mean, looking at Mo Salah, I mean, it is Mo Salah and Liverpool, but
Yeah.
oh well, it's unfortunate that it happened the way it did. All right, let's talk Champions League football. And Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca was disappointed by how his side conceded two second half goals to throw away their lead and slumped to a 2-1 Champions League defeat at Atalanta on Tuesday.
Yes, Atalanta was struggling, so they fired their coach and brought in a new coach, which means that this guy is under pressure now to deliver because they can't fire a former coach and then bring you in and you don't win matches. But with Chelsea, they were playing host to Chelsea, and Chelsea seemed, if you ask me, in the first half, the stronger side. They seemed to know what to do with the ball, know the spaces to enter. Atalanta was struggling a little bit, but they came back in that second half almost a completely different team and put out a different result. Now, I understand Maresca is going to get angry and is going to throw his team under the bus, but this is the Chelsea side we've seen all season. And it's not a question of Atalanta, it's the behavior they've put out all season. Win one fantastic match here, drop one abysmal performance here, play a brilliant first half here, play a shaky second half there. It's what we've seen all season. And some of it has come down to Maresca himself. First of all, this is your choice of players.
True.
Because he reduced that dressing room that was as big as an airport lounge into these guys. So this is your choice. And sometimes it's his tactical selection. I don't know that there was much he could have done differently with his team that he put on the pitch, but I think that the second half, his team could have played better. They just didn't know what to do the minute Atalanta shifted from gear one to gear two. They looked helpless. And that's what led to their loss. So I'm sure he'll be scratching his head to blame his players, but it's something he should also look in the mirror for because the call is coming from inside the house.
Yeah, after drawing Bournemouth on the weekend, losing to Atalanta
Exactly.
midweek.
You can't say it's just the players. The call is coming from inside the house.
Huh. Chelsea, Chelsea, Chelsea. Anyways, let's take our first breather of the morning, and then when we come back in, we shall talk about their.
No, we'll take their messages first. We want to know what they think of the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Okay, right.
And can they perform? Can they come back with the trophy from the African Cup of Nations this December? Again, when we come back, we'll take those messages.
Stay with us.
Manuel Petit had the nerve to open his mouth because Senegal beat him. Is it our fault that Senegal beat him?
But
Rather.
But I'm sorry, but is it
Don't
not
be sorry.
okay? I'm not sorry, but is it not just echoing a lot of our thoughts as well?
Who is our?
Our thoughts as well.
Who is our?
Oh,
My thought is not there. I'm a journalist of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and truth of the matter is, the Super Eagles performance affects my career. If they don't go far, I don't go far. I come back to this country and be looking at your face. Who told you I want to see your face?
Whether or not you want to will them to go far,
I
You feel
don't
like
feel them. They're going to support them to go far.
eh, eh,
Why is one of my hand darker than the other? Okay, my AC is not working, so the sun is beating one hand. No, 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 it's not you. It's clear. See it. Have you seen it?
I even think maybe the camera
No, no, no,
is.
no, no. The sun is beating one hand. So this is the hand that is outside.
Why do you, you know that if your hand outside, like I can't
What's my hand
understand.
doing inside?
It's inside. I won't be staring now. Are
Why?
you?
Why are you using 10 hands to hold the steering? Are you driving a trailer?
I want your hand.
No, I'm not hanging the hand. It's just, I arrange my hair. I straighten my brows. Then the breeze is blowing from that side. It's just a lot of.
Okay, so you're not one of those that stick their hand outside when they're driving, right?
Why? So that trailer will hit it.
I saw one guy doing that. A few
That's ridiculous.
last.
That's how
Why?
accidents happen.
Why would you stick your hand outside your car?
They'll
If
not
you're
give you short sleeve.
not family.
No. So I know what he's echoing, but let me give you updates. So I heard that accreditation for journalists, Nigeria had so many journalists coming in. They had to say, you know what, this is the slot for Nigeria. It's only one team you are bringing. We can't give you so many accreditations for.
We must try always fool the ground.
So we must. So do you understand? So Super Eagles have to go far. If not, I would deck them.
All right, we're back into the second half of the locker room on a Wednesday morning. Smooth 98.1. This is your Love Music Love live station. It is 33 minutes past 8 a.m. and we are having a great time. Ayokunmi here. Tega Supreme also in the studio. And we are looking at what's been going on in the world of sports. We talked about the Super Eagles before the break and we asked the question, what do you think about the Super Eagles' chances? Bearing in mind, Emmanuel Petit has said, yeah, Nigeria is not a favorite to win. So let me take a couple of comments here that I can see. I'll start with Pagripayo, who says, Tega, even the Super Eagles are not anticipating they'll win. So why should I bother? Let them try to get out of the group first, which is important. Namdi Okereke says, I don't have any expectations of the Super Eagles. Let them do the group stage and come back. Wow. Let me see. There's a comment here on WhatsApp. This is Chidoze. Chidoze says, Emmanuel Petit is certainly speaking based on what he has seen and observed. The Super Eagles are obviously not prepared for this AFCON. However, looking at our antecedents, this country thrives on chaos. So do the Super Eagles. I'm not saying they'll win it, but Petit should look out for dark horses. His dark horse is South Africa. Just putting that
His
out there
dark
for
horse
you.
in South Africa. They came third at the last tournament, so
Right. All right, keep those thoughts coming in. Let us know what your thoughts are on that and everything in between. So we talked about Chelsea earlier on. Let's talk about their red neighbors within the city, Arsenal, where their manager Mikel Arteta defended his injury-hit team's training methods, despite admitting his side are in a dangerous, in quotes, situation with their fitness problems.
yes, their list is just growing exponentially. And then to make matters worse, remember Leandro Trossard came on over the weekend, scored a goal, and then was substituted
Yeah,
again. He picked up an injury. He's not going to Belgium. So
would have been a good homecoming for him.
yeah, so the door of their clinic just keeps rotating. People are coming in. Well, I don't know if people are coming out yet, but people keep coming in. So you add that to the list of players: Mosquera, Gabriel, William Saliba, and the other ones that were injured for a while, the likes
Mm.
of Kai Havertz and the rest. And it makes for a shocking amount of players out. Now, people, because of the amount of injuries and the way they were happening, people started questioning that maybe the training methods are the problem. And he said, no, we are training well. We are doing normally. Then what is the problem? What are they drinking? What is it? There has to be something. If it's not the training method, his diet is something is wrong for these players to be going in and out of the your clinic
In,
room
la- in
in
large
large
numbers.
numbers. So it's an issue. So he's defended their training method. The good news is that they sit atop of the Champions League table and by 15 points. They sit there by goal difference because Bayern Munich won yesterday, but on goal difference, Arsenal still sits on top of the table. Also, the Club Rouge they're playing have fired their coach. They fired their coach just a few days before this. So,
That should be an easy win.
but
Should
again,
be.
it should be an easy win when you fire your coach because that kind of destabilize this kind of thing can destabilize the team. but it can also add to motivation because they have new manager bounce.
Hmm.
So all those things come to the thing about it is that I know that Club Brugge they like to run at people, so they know how to use their wings, they know how to use the pace of their forwards, and with Arsenal suffering this defensive mismatch or mix up in their back four, then it gives their opponents an opportunity to exploit that weakness. So as much as they don't have they've sacked their coach, you also have to think of the way they play, the way that their pace is, the way they run at defenses. And if they catch Arsenal out of position, then they're getting some joy. So let's see how it works out for Arsenal tonight in the Champions League.
Should be an interesting one facing Bruges. Let's see what happens if they can make it up. All right. Talking about another manager who seems to be under fire at this point in time. Under pressure, Real Madrid manager Xabi Alonso insisted the situation that he is in can swiftly change ahead of a potentially pivotal Champions League clash against Man City on Wednesday. And
Which is tough because they had a relatively easier fixture over the weekend. Didn't win that.
yeah,
Now they're 4 points behind Barcelona on the La Liga table.
it's funny.
Yeah, have struggled to get a win in a couple of matches, I think 3 or 4 matches. And so when you add that, you now face a team like Manchester City, who, yes, have had their problems, but they're also a big name team. They're also a team that you should be wary of. And if you're a team that concedes goals like Real Madrid does, then you have to be wary of the fact that Erling Haaland is there and he wants to redeem himself, you know, by scoring in the Champions League. So it's going to be a tough one. It doesn't seem any easy. He's not getting respite with his fixtures. He's not getting respite in his
At
results.
all.
In fact, he's not even getting respite with his players because I hear that Kylian Mbappe missed training yesterday.
Mm,
So he's obviously carrying something. Even if they play him today, he's not 100% fit, and he's their highest goal scorer this season. So he's not catching a break anytime soon. The only thing he can do is try to motivate the players with the handicaps they have, but it's against the Manchester City side in the Champions League. They have history here. They have black blood here. Bad blood that he was not a part of, but he has inherited. It
oh
was Carlo
yes.
Ancelotti that created that bad blood by beating City several times. But now there is bad blood and he's inherited that, so he's going to have to put his best foot forward. And I'm afraid he doesn't have a best foot. If you look at the results, if you look at his players, and now at the fixtures, tough one for Alonso.
I'm not even sure he has feet at this point. But even if he loses to City, do you think that he should be fired?
The thing about Real Madrid is, if you ask me that question, it's twofold. If it were another team, I'd say he would retain his job. But it's Real Madrid. They fire people that won. Who are you?
Enough said. Alonso, our prayers are with you.
You know,
All right, let's head to the other side when it comes to Spanish teams. And when I say other side, I'm talking about Barcelona. Well, unlikely goal scoring hero Jules Koundé bagged two headers to help Barcelona beat Eintracht Frankfurt 2-1 on Tuesday in the Champions League and bolster the club's chances of a top eight league phase finish.
okay, so this was one of my disappointing results from yesterday. I know people say, but they won, but it was disappointing. Frankfurt are a team that have not been particularly exceptional, and this was a team I thought that Barcelona was going to use to not just get up the table with the 3 points, but to get up the table in goal difference. They are ranked 14th. In fact, at some point yesterday when they were trailing Frankfurt, they were not even in top 18.
That's wild.
And those are the teams that are going to qualify either directly
Or
or
the playoffs.
or the playoffs. They were not even in top to 18. They had 7 points. They were training to Frankfurt at home. And then they had to change the style of football because Frankfurt just sat down like a log of wood. They're like, we don't have to come out. The important thing is that we don't lose this match. We don't have to come out and play. We're not looking to win, but we don't want you to score either. And so they sat deep. And so Barcelona had to change the style. If you notice the goals they scored, it was two headers straight into the 18-yard box. So they had to find a way to get the ball over the top through crosses and get those goals. And Jules Conde scored both goals. But yeah, it was a disappointing performance. Um, it was the 3 points they wanted, but it was a disappointing performance because, like I said, 14th on the table. It's not a good place to be.
Hmm.
Only +3 on their goal difference.
But fortunately for them, they were able to get the win. Imagine if Frankfurt just took that one goal and ran away
Like
with it.
exactly,
That would
tough
have been
one.
tragic. All right, let's talk women's football here. And the holders Arsenal ensured they will reach at least the knockout playoffs of the Women's Champions League on Tuesday with a 1-0 win over Dutch side 20.
Yeah, this team, this Arsenal team has not delivered up to potential. You look at the player lineup on the Arsenal side with the Caldentes, with the Meads, and you're just like, how are how is this team with Chloe Kelly? How is this team not delivering results? They're not doing the same. They're not doing it in the WSL, the Women's Super League, and they're fourth on the table there. And they are not certainly not doing it in the Champions League where they are defending champions. In fact, they lost two out of their first three matches. Was not a brilliant start. And so to claw their way into winning this one, and they won this one by 1 goal to nil. So as much as Renee says, "Oh, the team is getting together," I'm looking at her team list and I'm saying, you can't. You can't have this kind of car be crawling on Third Mainland Bridge. I'm
Mm-mm,
sorry. This is
mm-mm.
not this.
You
This is a machine.
fire down.
Hey, hey, people that fire down, they have tickets. So, but fire down within
Within the bounds of the law.
within the limits,
Uh-huh.
within the speed limits. You can't have this car be driving at 40 kilometers per. Come on. So she's not delivering on the potential of that team, and she's not doing it in any competition. So at this point in time, question is how long will she last? Because she was hired to make a difference for Arsenal last season, and when former coach was struggling, and she was able to win the Champions League, but this season she struggled on every front. And so yes, they've just managed to qualify, even if it's just for the playoffs, but they're not performing brilliantly. So if you look at the results, you could say, okay, this was good. But if you look at the performance and you look at the team sheet that the
Yeah.
squad list that Arsenal has, you know that they are underperforming.
Mm. Underperforming is what it is that they are doing. All right, let's see if we can just quickly talk about.
Lukaku, I didn't even know he was a footballer
The
again.
funny thing is, I was thinking about him yesterday when I got home. I don't know why.
He's
I
just
was
like,
thinking about Napoli,
yeah.
and I thought about him, and I thought, is he still playing football?
Exactly, because I haven't seen him all season, but he's back from a long time injury. So he was in training. We don't know if he's going to make the team that plays today, but we know that he's back in training, and they've missed him. They need a couple of goals from him, regardless of the fact that they are doing so a little bit well in the Scudetto race. They're still close to the top of the table behind
Mm-hmm.
AC Milan, but it's still a struggle without Lukaku. So it's great to see him back. Look, he's been out for such a while. The same thing when I saw Alfonso Davis, I said, "Oh, well, you didn't go back to Canada."
Huh.
I was just like,
Do you remember him as well?
yeah. So because injuries have taken a lot of players out, ACL and the rest of them. I think the only person that stays top of mind for me is Musiala, and that's because I saw his injury
Mm.
and I saw his progress report. But everybody else has been injured a while. I'm shocked when I see them back. Oh, you're still playing. But yeah, good news for Romelu Lukaku to come back, and good news for Napoli because they need him, and he's coming back at a crucial time. All right, so let's run in and take those messages.
Alrighty, let's begin here. This is Felix from Mende, Maryland. Good morning to you, Felix, who is enjoying the program as always. Thank you very much. He says, I'm looking forward to the crunch UEFA matches today. I hope Real Madrid prevails. Well, better hope they do better than against
Even
Celta Vigo,
Xavi
Sha.
holds too.
If not, this is AY Nero who says, I just noticed how now that any team that beats Barca drops form immediately and starts struggling. Look at Real Madrid and Chelsea, even Inter Milan from last season, Seth. So other teams had better get the memo.
Oh, so they shouldn't beat Barcelona.
Larry from the abroad, good morning. He says, Mo messed up to me, Sha. Everything he said could have been ascribed to frustration, but he lost the room when he said he'd earned the right to start and promises were made.
I'm sorry, he's earned the right to start. He didn't lose me at all.
The- there's, there's no player that earns the right to
He
start.
has earned the right to start.
He then says, did he not learn from CR7's second stint at Man United or even recently from Isak's transfer mess? Now, there's a real possibility of Liverpool's greatest player in decades to leave the club unceremoniously like a discarded towel from the dressing
And
room.
that's a Liverpool problem.
For reference, remember KDB's befitting send-off at the Etihad? Huh.
I beg. That's a
Let's go to YouTube. This is from LK Adoroba who says, if Chelsea wins a single game this December, I will dash someone on the locker room 10K. We face
Chelsea,
Everton.
please.
We face Everton, Newcastle, and Villa next, while we couldn't beat Leeds, Bournemouth, and Atalanta. It's a blip in the road, LK.
I think you can beat Everton.
But Barry says, LK, my guy, make I send my account now. Alonso to lose his job today. Wow, how quickly everything changes from the touted Messiah to this. This is from Ibukukono who says, Tega, there was an EPL game on Monday. Can we just call them the Eagles and leave out the Super? Second place is nothing to Nigerians. The cup or nothing. And I see nothing. So happy Mad Max didn't win. LK Adoragwa says Carragher has a loud mouth for someone who has never won the EPL and scored 7 own goals out of 10. He scored for Liverpool, an average player at best and a horrible pundit. He hates Salah so much. How do you know?
He
How do
just
you
loves
know?
Liverpool a lot.
This is okay. Who says you should apply some sunscreen?
It doesn't still work, trust me.
And then says, please, should not talk about Arsenal's. Please, nobody should talk about Arsenal's injuries. There was a time United had 8 players or more out, and nobody gave us light of day. So Alex Ferguson played Fletcher and Carrick as centre backs in one game. That was an eternity away, though.
Yeah.
This is from Uchina Wokoye, who says, United with a good win, we need to stop leaking goals. Salah, very wrong move. Nobody's above benching. DVD and Konate have been awful, but no replacements for them. Arsenal injuries are plenty. And Chidozie also says, Tega Supreme, we also have to consider that City also have been a yo-yo team this season. They haven't really been consistent with their form. Xavi and his men might have a chance against them tonight.
Oh, no doubt. I completely agree that they may have a chance against them. Like I said, they've been bringing a mixed basket of fruits. But if you look at their form, they're in a better position, at least, than Real Madrid is, based on performance. So let's see how it works out. Whoever wins or whoever loses, sorry, I'm going to laugh. My job in this life is to do banter. On that note, I want to thank you for sending in your messages to Smooth 98.1 FM. I want to thank you for tuning into the locker room. I want to thank you for staying tuned with us. I know that I said we're going to start the AFCON this week, but because we didn't come in on Monday, we'll start next week. All right. We'll try to do as many group stages as we can. On that note, go out there and continue to have a fantastic week.
Thank you so much, Sega. Have a great Wednesday. Looking forward to the show on Friday as well. Thank you all for keeping it locked right here on Smooth 98.1 and keeping it tuned to the locker room. We'll make a return on Friday at 8:15. My name is Ayokunmi Kikiriaku. Keep it tuned to the Smooth Breakfast.
Every move you make, oh. Now let me go and sleep.
Oh.
I woke up 3 times at night.